song. Hello.
Hello.
As always, we are delighted to be summoned to be here with all of you. And we are wanting you to all lighten up a little and have some laughter, for we feel a heaviness and a seriousness in the energetic field at this time. And we want to remind all of you that although you might be going through something, as this is part of the journey of being human, that you are often here and also here to see the humor in it all. For from our perspective, it is actually quite funny, for you've encased yourselves in these bodies and you've forgotten who you are. And in the forgetting, you're going through this journey until you exit the body and you reawaken and you remember where you came from, and then you have a good belly laugh. And so we want you to laugh more and lighten up and relax and enjoy and be playful and have some fun. For it is not so serious, and humor and laughter and joy is truly an enormous piece of being human. And so whatever it was that you had planned to do today, perhaps take a few moments after this class and just sit and visualize what it is you're going to be doing and insert some joyfulness in there and some laughter and some playfulness. For perhaps you're going to be doing chores, maybe put on some fun music beforehand and dance and play, or you're going to be going out with friends, or you're going to be working. Take a break today and go for a walk, for it is very important to have fun and to laugh, because you are here for a finite amount of time in the body. And as much joy and light and laughter that you can bring to every single day and every moment, the more you are fully expressing your divinity. So we just want to remind you all to lighten up, so it's not as heavy and as serious as you might think. And even the things that are the most serious and the most grave, at any given moment in time, you can find a little laughter and a little silliness even in that, knowing that it is just part of being human and that you are here for a brief moment in time to express and to connect with the human form and the senses and the joy and the laughter and the pain and the hurt and the suffering. For it is all part of the polarity of the human experience. But as you can inject levity and laughter and joy into all things and play a little, it brings more joyfulness, and joy is an enormous piece and an important piece. So we're tickling you with a little angel feather this morning in your heart and in your ears and in your nose, and saying, wake up and have some fun. And so we are knowing you are wanting to talk today about healing, excuse the voice of Kelly, and so we are here to do that. And when I say we, I know sometimes it confuses people, and when I speak, often Kelly refers to me as she, and that confuses people. So in order to clarify that, I am an essence of energy, a spiral of beautiful and magnificent white light. That's all it is that I am. I am an energy. And you've depicted me in form and in religion as having a gold halo and big wings. And in a sense I do, for I am light and magnificent and sweet and beautiful. But I have no gender, for I am not a male and I am not a female, for I have no body, so how could I hold that form? I may carry more of the essence of something more than another, for such as Archangel Michael deeply carries the essence of the masculine more, but my vibration is neither, for it is centered in the middle of both, for I am in the 0 point of both energies, for I am not male and I am not female. But I carry the vibration of healing and the vibration of love to bring it to the planet when I am called upon and summoned to be of service. For that is my purpose in this lifetime, for you to experience me through different vehicles. And I am infinite and vast, for I have been here way before you were brought into form, and I will be here way after. And you will return to a place in which I will hold you and cradle you, and you will see and feel and remember me and know me, for I am a part of you, and you are a part of me, and I dwell inside of you, for I am you. And although it is that when you are in the physical body moving through time and space, it is hard sometimes to recognize or understand this, for you search for me out in the heavens or above, but I dwell inside. And sometimes I come out and I hover like an angel above your bed in order to give you the feeling of the connection to something greater than the density of form you are familiar with. But I am more than that, for I am everything, as are you. And so with that beginning of understanding, we will connect to the physical part of you, where you have questions about your body and about being healthy and healing. And we find a great struggle around this in being human. For the physical vessel, which is the temple, which is your home to your spirit, often can become problematic, causing disease, upset, pain, and suffering. And this can get in the way of the joyfulness you're wanting to experience in your life, and you often have concerns and questions around this. And there are so many factors, as we had connected to and talked about in our last communication with you, for it is that your planet is deeply out of balance, as is your water and your food, which is creating havoc on your energetic systems and more disease. There is the genetic component that comes down and is poured into the body from old belief systems that were born long, long, long ago. There is the emotional and stressful component, for there are endless There are endless pieces that come together in order to create this form. And so we will delve into some of them on a more practical manner today to begin to assist you. But know that the healing does not ever come from outside of self, but from inside, and that it is the stillness in the heart and the opening and the listening that will bring the most. Again, the joy and the laughter and the lightness. Bring some humor to it and begin to see that it's actually funnier than perhaps you are willing to let yourself open to. And so with that, hello.
Hello. Thank you so much, Raphael. We love you so much and we're so grateful.
We love you too. What is it?
Our first question is, if we hate the way our body looks, how do we move past that?
You're very funny. How can you hate your body? Your body is your home. It houses you. It is what brings life form to this experience here. Now, we understand that your society has rules, that your body should be shaped a certain way, or it should be thin, or it should have muscle, or it should have symmetry, or it should have clear skin, or it should have shiny hair, or it should have red painted nails, or it should have no cellulite. This is all fascinating. But it is that you are who you are. And it is that when you cannot love who you are, in the moment of where you are, the body feels so sad and hurt. When you're not loving your body, can you imagine what it feels like to feel that you don't love it and you don't respect it, or that you don't care for it? When it gives you life, your body is giving you life. It is the home, the temple. It is sacred. It is a place that houses you. And it must be respected and honored and loved and appreciated. And if it has found itself in a place in which you have not cared for it and not loved it and not respected it, then it starts to get angry. And when it gets angry, it starts to yell and talk and scream and cry, and what you call that is a symptom. So in order for the body to be happy, you must love it like anything or anyone. If you had a child that was with you and their body wasn't perfect, you wouldn't love it less. Or if you have a friend who's overweight or their body isn't perfect, you don't love them less. It's their essence, their spirit, their soul that you love, not their body. And so your body must be loved where it is. And if you haven't taken good care of it, and you haven't exercised it, you haven't given it water, and you haven't given it healthy food for a long time, and it's starting to show in the body, then be present where the body is. Take off all your clothes and stand in the mirror and look at your body and see every crevice and every wrinkle and every piece and love it the way it is. And if it is aging, love that, for it is showing the wisdom and all the things that you have endured and you have experienced and you have felt in your lifetime. It is a representation of that, and that is beautiful. So look at it and see it and say, thank you for pumping the blood through my veins. Thank you for allowing me to see and to hear and to smell and to taste and to walk and to move and to feel and to touch. Thank you. And love it and appreciate it, and then drop into it and say, I am so sorry. I haven't paid any attention to you for a very long time. I've been in my mind or in the etheric realm, and I haven't been grounded and in my body, and I've neglected you. And now you're talking to me, so let's have a conversation. What do you want to tell me? And when you're quiet and you're still, it might say, please walk me. Please swim with me. Please give me more water. Please give me an orange. I am depleted in vitamin C. Please lay in the sun. I need vitamin D. It will tell you what it needs because it's a part of you. And if you need to connect to what we call the higher, the essence of the body, for you have a body, what would the word be you would use here? Elemental. You have a body elemental. And it almost has its own name. It's a part of your body that's in a sense separate, that communicates with you. And when you love it and talk to it, it will bring you all the answers from all the organs and all the cells of the body, and it will open them and tell it what it needs. You have to love your body because it's your home, it's your vessel. It's the most important thing. Often it is that when one is doing spiritual work, they will neglect the body because they're in a different realm and they're focused on the spirit. But the spirit cannot dwell and live without the vessel and the temple of the body. And so the body must be honored first. Those first chakras, the very base of where you are, must be grounded and rooted deep into the earth and into the core, so that you feel the earth beneath your feet and the rhythm of your heartbeat as it aligns with the heartbeat of Mother Earth, for they must come into relationship with one another. And as they do this, you awaken to, so in the morning get up and rub your body all over and massage it and feel every piece of it. And as you rub it, say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then take your hands and put them up and cross them so that they're around your shoulders and on your heart. And just say, I love you. Thank you so much for being my body. I'm going to listen to you now. I'm going to pay more attention to you. I'm going to prioritize you. I'm going to make you my number one thing on my list instead of my email or my job or my work. Because without you, I have nothing else. Without you, or when you're in pain, or when you're tired, and when you can't be there for me, all those other things don't matter. When you're kids, your parents might say to you, your health is your number one priority. You might not understand that at that moment because you're engaged in everything else and you're taking granted for it because the body is just operating. It's filled with youthfulness. But that is where you must be taught, and you must teach your children to love themselves and their body and to care for it through each stage. And if you've forgotten that, and you find yourself in a place where you forgot to take care of it, you can do it today. You can begin to love it and listen to it and prioritize it and look in the mirror and see it for what it is and accept it. Every wrinkle, every piece of flab, whatever it is that you have judged, that you have said is wrong, that should be different. I have to work out more. I have to have more muscles. I have to look clear. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to change my hair. I have to just stop. Look at that person. They're thinner than I am. They're prettier than I am. They're more in shape than I am. Enough. You are perfect as you are, and no one else cares but you. So just love your body as it is. And as you love your body, the body responds, and it opens, and it blooms, and it blossoms into everything you want it to be, because it radiates health. And when it radiates health, there's a radiance about you and a glow, because you've given it the water, and you've given it the juice and the food and the walk and the exercise and the vitamin and the love and the meditation and the yoga, or whatever it is that it's asking for. You gave it to it because you listened to it, because you loved it. So it's a silly question, really. Please love your bodies. Please. Oh, what is it?
Thank you so much, Raphael. The next question is, just when I start to feel better, my illness returns. Why?
When one has had illness for a very long period of time, the pattern of that illness vibrationally is imprinted on the energetic field, and so it is familiar. So the body will always return to what it knows that is familiar. And when the imprint of the disease was there for so long, the emotion connected to that disease is so strong that it is stronger than the belief that the disease is healed. And because of that, the body will continuously recalibrate its vibrational field back to the imprint that is the densest and the strongest. So when you've had a disease for a long time, and then you get moments where you have a reprieve and you're well from it, in those moments you must really drop into feeling what that health, what that clarity, what that vitality, what that feeling good feels like. And you must bring emotion to it and begin to imprint that vibrational field so that it becomes stronger than the field of the pain. The field of the pain, of course, anchors in because it's so intense, and fear is riddled in it of what it could be and what it will turn out to be, and if it will get worse and how long it will last, and all of those imprints in the mind that is rambling around and around anchors it in, and it becomes heavy like a rock, like a boulder, solid and strong. And then the lighter part of feeling well feels temporary. It's like a thin layer of something laying upon it. It's lighter, and it's not truly anchored in. So it's important that when you're feeling good, to begin to spend time noticing what that feels like and putting as much attention to it as you did when you didn't feel good. When you didn't feel good, you were vibrating often with the energy of fear, because you can be fearful of why you don't feel good, if it's going to end, what it is, and what it could turn into. But when you're feeling good, it's quickly easy to forget that you felt bad before, to just go on with your life, I'm feeling good, and keep doing things. And in that, you're not really anchoring in the feel-good vibration in a sense. So you must feel what it feels like to feel good, and then bring emotion to that, and then to use the old-fashioned power of visualization. Visualization is something that has been taught and you've heard forever. But utilizing it and really anchoring it in daily is vital in creating health in the body. So when you're feeling good, feel what that feels like and hold that vibration. Once you have that vibration, then you can apply it to any time that you're not feeling good in your visualization and bypass the vibration of fear and the anchored energy of disease. And by dropping into meditation, holding the feeling, and so when you're feeling good, write down, what does that feel like in my body? How am I doing? And hold it so you start to get an anchored energy and an emotion around it. Then if you're not feeling good, drop in and bypass the pain through being in stillness to creating the emotion of what it feels like to feel good. Hold that vibration and then visualize yourself going through the day, doing everything with the vibration of feeling good and what that would look like. So, for instance, we always use Kelly as an example, and we know it's not fair to her, but it's our best way to explain. So if she's anchored into the vibration of pain in her stomach, or I can't feel good and I can't eat, then there starts to be almost an energy of fear around eating or food. This is just one example. And it could be you have a broken ankle, and so you have fear around it, or meniscus or something torn, and whether it will heal, or your knee or getting better. And so you forget what that feels like. You're in the vibration of the fear that you won't be able to walk again, let's say as an example. So you have to take that in which you are wanting, so it might be to run again, or it might be able to eat all kinds of foods again and digest them, of course in moderation to listening to the body, but seeing yourself and visualizing yourself doing that without the vibration of the fear entering in. So let's take the knee, for example. In healing it, you can go into the knee and begin to pour energy and light and see the cells fusing and the healing occurring. But the visualization of seeing yourself moving with ease and grace over and over and over and over again will start to teach the body that that's what's happening, because it's just a hologram. You're just in a holographic field. You don't see it from your perspective, but you're just in a soup of holographic energy and vibration. You live in a soup of frequency, and you recalibrate the frequency depending upon the emotion and the thought process. And we know that's a lot to take in, and it doesn't mean in any way that you are to blame or yourself for not feeling good or for going through something, because it's just an opportunity for growth for your soul, an opportunity to awaken, to shift, to change, to open up to something new. And so that's all it is. It's the body just talking to you and giving you a chance to grow. And so you're not to blame ever. It's just a chance to do something and to shift to your paradigm. So visualization is key to shifting from I wasn't feeling good, now I have a few days of feeling good. Hold that vibration, hold that energy, drop it down and anchor it into your field as much as you can. And then when you have that nugget of what that feels like, and then hold it and drop it into the visualization of what it is you want to create in your life, in your body. Now you might say, okay, but I haven't felt good in so long, I can't find that to hold. Go back to childhood. Go back into the brain, into the recesses of your synapse, and into the memory field of a place where you felt good. Find a moment maybe when you were a kid and you were on the swing and you were just feeling joyful, or whatever it is, a place where you can hold that energy. And then every day and every single morning for a minimum of 20 minutes, hold the vibration of that feeling of feeling good, and then apply it to that day, that it's anchored in that day, in that moment, not in the far future, because you want to be as present as you can, and that you're holding it to have joyful, playful, pain-free, happy, light day. And it may take one day, it may take 10, it may take months, in order to recenter and reform your imprinting, a new calibration of an imprint of information layered upon one that perhaps had been developed and anchored in for years, so that it dissolves. But you're not focusing on dissolving the pain, because then you're still recalibrating to the pain. You're focusing on recalibrating to the vibration of what you are creating, and in so, the vibration of the imprint of the past begins to dissolve and is overloaded by the new imprint. So you're creating a new imprint. So perhaps the question was, why do you start to feel sick after again and again, and you have glimpses of feeling well? Why does the body return? Because it returns to what's familiar. And as you change what's familiar to something new, which is feeling good, then it will keep recalibrating to that. What is it?
Thank you, Raphael. The next question is, why are so many people, especially young people, diagnosed with depression, bipolar, narcissism, and other mental health conditions? It seems like mental illness is everywhere.
As always, there are many factors here. It brings great heaviness to our hearts from the angelic realm to witness this and to see this, for it is what you would call an epidemic right now, especially amongst the youth. It is that the beings that were born or are continuing to be born are coming in with a higher vibration than perhaps those in the past. They are what we call star children and light beings. They are lighter, and their veil is thinner, and their sensitivity to density and to upheaval and to the fear vibration and the collective consciousness is stronger. And so they often find themselves overwhelmed by life and by the ordinary things that need to take place, by the soup in the field that they are living in, and by conducting or going through basic things that need to occur in life in order to be a participant in society. They're very sensitive and often being deeply connected to spirit, and their souls are very beautiful. And mental illness is difficult to talk about because sometimes they're not actually even mentally ill. They're just different in the way they process. They are often labeled. And sometimes they are truly what would be labeled or diagnosed, and we hate anything that is diagnosed because that anchors a vibration into the belief of something and perpetuates it. But there are many different levels of mental illness. But it is that these beings are often sensitive, light beings of real love, and for them it is hard to navigate this world in which the collective consciousness has really anchored in through their free will separation and greed and fear and forgetting to cooperate, collaborate, and care for one another. And a sense of fabric in your community is dissolved, in which people often feel alone. There are outside influences that are very out of balance on the planet, one of them being technology and these things you call your telephone and the soup and the vibration that you are swimming in of the electromagnetic field that is extremely difficult for these sensitive beings to navigate, for it creates havoc in their field. If their waves of frequency of their vibration should be like an ocean wave, soft and rippling, they become staticky, fragmented, and jagged. This can interfere with their synapses, their brain, the way that they perceive information and the way they share information, creating an overload and even suicidal thoughts where they feel they cannot escape. Removing and disconnecting from this and being in the earth and connected to Mother Earth is essential. If one finds himself in this place, returning to the most natural way of living is very important, for it is often that those that have this feeling need to be in nature, cannot be in cities, need to remove themselves from the soup of the technology and the vibration as much as they can, eliminating them, opening to eating the cleanest and clearest foods that have the most light in them, in which the sun has poured into them, and the photosynthesis goes into the cells and keeps them light. Reading books that are connected to spirit and opening their hearts, and beginning to connect with their essence, because they often have beautiful and magnificent gifts to share that get swallowed up in their own fear from being on this planet. Many of them are what we call star children and have come to bring more light to the planet. Their circuits get overwhelmed. But in their healing process and their awakening, they often are bringing more light than they give themselves credit to, for just being who they are is enough. And so how to heal mental illness, how to eliminate it, will take a shift in consciousness. And you are bridging worlds right now. You are between the old paradigm and the new. So you don't have your feet really grounded in either. You're not fully grounded in what you used to be in the evolution of creating a society and leading up to something. And you're not really in the vibration of what we call the fifth dimensional energy of unity and oneness, where you're really seeing completely all the time the divinity in one another. You're between these worlds. You're straddling it. And because of it, it can cause a lot of confusion and upset in the fields. It is also that there is a sense of hopelessness in many of the young people, for they are star children and they are deeply connected to the earth, but not yet realizing how much they need to be back in with their feet on the planet and very deeply in the earth, but they still feel her pain and they feel a sense of concern about the future and what it will look like and what's happening to Mother Earth, and if she'll be able to home and house them in the way other generations have been housed. And so there's this underlying current or fear, but it's never really spoken of or brought to the surface of a hopelessness or why bother feeling, because what they have known and witnessed from their parents and their lifestyle and way of being is not any longer sustainable for the planet, and there's a deep knowing about that. And so they're still following the protocol of what has been taught that they should do to be people in society, to follow certain rules. But the rules don't really apply, because moving forward, those rules have to change in order to create an equilibrium and healing with humanity and Mother Earth. And so they're going through the steps of what others before them, of their parents and grandparents and great-parents did, to have an outcome that is to integrate into a society that is changing and it is outdated to what it is that they are seeking to express. And so they find themselves in this place of not knowing where to be. And in that, it creates upheaval and often depression and suicidal thoughts and so on. It is that going back to changing the expectation of what life is about and what it is you're really seeking to feel and to experience and to enjoy, and that the thought process that you must sit in a room and learn certain things and take them in and follow the rules, and then that you must go to college, and then you need to get a job, and then you need to get a townhouse, and then a bigger house, and then a station wagon, and then a dog, and then 2 children, and then have grandchildren, and then save for your retirement, and then die, that paradigm of sequence that has been put in place as a structure, that if you're not following that sequence, somehow you're bad, or you're not fitting in, or you're not part of things, that whole paradigm is going to shift. And so they're reevaluating, the younger generation, what it is that truly is important to them, and recalibrating to the understanding that the overconsumption and consumerism and lifestyle of generations before that were supposed to look out for them, who were supposed to look 7 generations ahead and ask themselves, what am I doing? Is this going to sustain 7 generations in front of me? Didn't apply those rules and only listen to what they wanted and what they needed, and have left a big mess for these children. And so they are depressed. And so it is now the responsibility of bridging these worlds and of the adults now to say, all right, we took our share and we need to now shift the paradigm to reevaluate what is important, what is valued, and is more things what you're valuing, or is joy and love and connection and peace and honoring the earth what you're valuing? What is it you're seeking in this lifetime to really express? And can you express your gifts and who you are? And so they feel trapped because they understand the vibration of wanting to do all that, but they're still operating in the old paradigm. So it's a bridge, and it's happening, and you're in it right now. You're living through a time of great transition. You're moving through into the eye of something new. You're birthing into the canal and opening up to blossom into a higher way of living. And so as the consciousness shifts, and as many of you are doing this work and meditating and going inward and opening your hearts and reevaluating your life and connecting to spirit and releasing judgment and shame and letting go of old belief systems, you're supporting a quickening in the shift from the old to the new. And these beings are here to wake you up. They are here to shake you to the core because they're angry and they don't know what to do. And they drop into this depression, or the word you called, what was it, bipolarism, because they're straddling both worlds. So, or they're manic, or they're down, or whatever it is, because they don't know how to calibrate, because there's no footing underneath them. They're not sure what's happening. So it is that the solution is to return to the most natural way of living, the most simplistic way of living, to a way of reconnecting to the earth and to its natural foods, to stillness and quiet time, to meditation and creativity, to art, to dance, to music, to literature, to culture, to community, and to one another, and to disengage from over-consuming, from the internet of constant bombardment of information, television, social media, and all of these things that are somehow creating a vibration and a label of something that beings in their youth cannot find a way to live up to. How can they be those things? How can they get to be those things? And what are those things anyway? So it is that I don't have the answer to this question, but I can tell you that those in your life that are experiencing this are a gift. They're a gift to wake everyone up around them and to bring compassion and love and a questioning around the whole structure that you have collectively agreed upon in your society, and to honor their sensitivity and their spirit, and to realize that they are overloaded by information, by chemicals, by people, by their senses are overloaded, and that returning to more of a simplistic way of being is the beginning to allowing them to be loved for who they are in a more simple way. Oh, hello.
Hello.
It is that we were wanting to be light and funny today and to have some fun, and yet we have delved into some heavy information and seriousness. So we apologize for that, but sometimes we need to hear this to collectively remember that in order for those around us to feel lighter and more love, that we must return to some sense of inward connection to the earth and to yourself. And so, what is it?
Thank you so much, Raphael. The next question is, what is the future of medicine?
medicine. What is medicine? Medicine in your world is chemistry. It is sitting in a lab and putting together chemicals to create a drug that is taken into the body to alter or to shift or to change the chemistry to create a positive outcome. Medicine in this way has very positive opportunities and can help many beings with certain situations, as killing a virus or a bacteria or recalibrating something or shifting it to create more balance. However, it will quickly become outdated, for it is not addressing the larger perspective and purpose. For its overview is mechanistic and separate, and you are moving more and more into a unified field of collective consciousness that recognizes you are more than the sum of your parts and more than your physical body. You have an astral and etheric body that measures beyond all the way into the galactic core and into Mother Earth, as far into infinite space as possible. And that field, when especially the one that is about 3 or 4 feet out, is addressed, often that is where the disease begins. And it is in your etheric field, an astral field, that is not even understood or recognized by your medicine at this time, but it is frequency. And that when frequency is recalibrated to the correct frequency that you are supposed to be vibrating at through sound and through color and through different mechanisms, that it will instantaneously create a miraculous change in the cellular structure and the DNA of the body to create healing. And so once this is understood, and some scientists in quantum physics are beginning to have a better understanding of this, and as you open up and it becomes more mainstream, healing will occur on this level. And so the future of medicine will not be about ingesting something from outside in, but from healing from inside out. And so just like your society right now is bridging an old paradigm into the new, your medicine is bridging an old into the new. For you are at a time of great transition in all areas, in your government, in your education, in the way in which you communicate with one another, in your medicine. For you are releasing and letting go, and there you see a crumbling of old paradigms and structures. The old educational system, the medical system, the government systems, they are no longer operating and working in the way in which they were more supportive in the past, when the density of the vibration was more mechanistic and able to operate within those fields, is shifting. As you are larger species and beings of light, you will be connecting with old and ancient ways that are old and yet new, and will be new to you, to create healing from frequency, vibration, sound, color, emotion, thought, belief systems, and so on, and dispersing energies that get caught or tangled that are no longer serving you. And so this will come not only from the perspective many might call holistic modalities, but it will come through traditional medicine, in that technology will start to catch up with the quantum understanding and physics, and will create instruments and even machinery through your technology that will support the rebalancing of your frequency. So you will be utilizing both old, ancient, and indigenous wisdom and very high technological information and understanding, and merging the two together in order to create a new medicine that will make a quantum leap in your ability to heal. So you will have to bring in both the old and the new, and it is this middle ground energy of soup that you're sitting in now that will start to disappear, for it will be obvious that it is no longer serving you as a mass. What is it?
Thank you, Raphael. The next question is, if you are the angel of healing, why can't you just heal us?
You are very funny. And you just heal yourself if you are a divine being of light. For it is that you have free will. And you chose, as you sat around the Council of Light, and you said, all right, I'm going to go to Earth and play for a bit and drop into density and have a body and have a human experience and move through it. And we said, great, you're on your own, but you have free will. But we will come and assist you if you ask, and that's what I'm doing right now. You've asked on some level, that's why you're on this call. You want to connect with the higher part of yourself, which is the vibration that resides where I am, and so I'm here communicating and giving you tips and reminding you of old ancient wisdom and things that you know, for nothing that comes through this vibration or my mouth isn't anything you don't already know. It's just a reminder. And so I am here as the angel of healing, to heal you, to love you, to share wisdom, to go into your heart and to open it up, to bring light into yourself. But you have to be open, willing, release resistance, and ask, because you have free will. And when you have free will, we cannot, from the angelic realm or any ascended master or being of light, interfere with your human experience unless you ask. So if you ask, we are there. And you may say, yes, but I ask all the time, and I pray, please heal me, and I am not healing, is because you are still growing on your journey and awakening and learning. And some of the information and understandings and teachings that we have shared with you, you can begin to apply to support your healing process. And that when you truly believe with every single ounce of your being and every cell in your soul that you can have a miraculous healing and all resistance is gone and you're fully, completely surrendering without any resistance, open to that completely, then it shall be. What is it?
Thank you, Raphael. The next question is, how can we stop eating foods that we know are bad for us?
Listening to your body. It is that when you honor and listen to your body, it will clearly tell you what to eat. Many of your foods are poisoned. They have chemicals in them and things that have been utilized to create massive amounts of food for profit that are riddled with chemicals. And so if you love your body, you will place your hand on something and you will ask, is this riddled with a chemical and is it poisoned? And your body will quickly tell you. And when you place your hand on it, you will feel that vibration and you'll say, do I want to bring this into my body? Do I love my body? If you love your body, you really love your body, then you might make a different choice. And that choice that you make is not just for yourself, but it's for all the children, all the babies, all the little ones that don't have a choice. Because when you choose with your pocketbook to eat food that Mother Earth brought you, filled with its bounty, and its sunlight, and its vitamins, and its nutrients, and is grown in a loving and organic way, when you make that choice and you use your card or your dollar to buy that, you are helping children. So if you won't do it for your own body, do it for the children. Because when that happens, the food industry is going to realize that people are paying with their dollar for what they want, and they will give you what you want because they want to make money. And those foods that are filled and riddled with dead food, that isn't even food, that has no life, that has no sunlight, that's filled with chemicals and sugar and processes and Roundup and all those things will start to fall away, and it will become something that won't be recognized as okay anymore, or society will look down upon it. It will shift. And when you do that, you save a child that was born somewhere where that's all they're eating day after day after day, riddling their body with disease. Children are not receiving the nutrients from Mother Earth. all of her bounty, her fruit, her pineapple, her apple, her papaya, her mango, her strawberry, her blueberry, her vegetables, her kale and her Brussels sprouts and her squash and her leeks and her bok choy and her broccoli and her cabbage and her cauliflower. It loves you. And it wants you to enjoy it and to receive it and to see all its colors and its juices and its textures. It loves you, and it came from Mother Earth. It's her gift to you. And so take it, and when you pick up something, say, is this a gift from Mother Earth? Did she give this to me? And in gratitude, digest it and bring it into the cells of your body. And if you pick it up and man has manipulated it once, maybe that's all right. Twice, maybe that's all right. 3, 4, 5, 6 times. How far removed is it from Mother Earth's gift? How much is it packaged? And the more it's packaged, the further away from its source, the further away from the light, it's dead. And when you put dead food in your body, your organs begin to decay. It was interesting. We were together with Kelly, and we hang with her, and we were at Thanksgiving, and she was with her little nephew, and he's autistic, and they were making the turkey. And the little boy, when everyone was saying their thanks, says, please don't eat the turkey because it's dead. And when you put the dead turkey in your body, it's like a graveyard inside. And it was an innocent perception of a child. And we're not saying you can't enjoy meats and that God has given you all that too and that is perfect. But if something is really dead and decaying and the life force isn't in it any longer, then the body has a harder time utilizing what it has to give you in order to create more light and healing in the cells. It's very basic understanding. So the question is, why, when I know better, do I keep eating the foods that I know aren't good for me? It returns to loving yourself and prioritizing your vessel and your body and listening to it. And so meditating is the greatest way to get in touch with yourself and your body and to go inward. And the more you meditate and the more you go inward, the more connected intuitively you are to something, and when you see it, your hand almost pulls away from it because it might give you a sugar high for a minute or feel good for a moment, but you know that your body is angry and that the cells can't receive it and that it's just a waste that then the toxins have to be released from. So meditation is actually the answer to that question. More meditation. More quietness, more stillness, more willingness to listen and to feel the energetic field of something. When you buy something at the store, put your hand on it. Is this filled with life or is this alive or dead? Feel it. Where did it come from? Look at it. Play a game with your children at night and look at the plate. Where did this come from? Where did that come from? Do you have any idea where it came from? Who touched it? What vibration were they holding when they touched it? Did they love it? Where was it produced? Ask yourself these questions. You've all gotten so far removed that you forget. The children think that the hamburger comes from a package they don't even know it's a cow. Was the cow slaughtered in a way where it was filled with fear? Is the fear of that vibration in the cow? Or was the cow loved? Did someone play music to it? Was it outside grazing? Did it live its life and then gave its life for you to enjoy the hamburger? Those are two very, very different vibrations. And everything is frequency and vibration. So when you ingest it, you're ingesting the vibration of how that energy in that cow was received. So ask yourself, what is on your plate? So with that, we seem to be past our linear time, although there is many more questions. They must wait. I love you, I love you, I love you. You are perfect and divine as you are. Your body is perfect as it is. Love it, listen to it, give it water, exercise, sunlight, enjoy it, don't criticize it. We see Kelly criticizes her body for she had what you call Lyme disease, so she couldn't exercise. So then she gained weight. So then she always thinks, well, I look fat, or my arms are fat, or I have a roll on my belly. Release that. Let it go. She is beautiful, just how she is. Just be with your body. Love it, massage it, enjoy it, be thankful for it, care for it, and honor it. It is your sacred temple. Many blessings, much love, and good day. Oh.